Okay, so now let's look at how deep learning is changing everything. So the power of deep learning. So machine learning has been around for decades, actually, maybe since the 1960s or even before. However, what brought on the recent data science revolution was the increasing computing power that we have now, cheap data storage, highly developed software and tools that made it far more accessible to us programmers now. And basically what happened is that around in 2010, basically typical machine learning was reaching a point where it wasn't getting significantly better. They were just incremental improvements every year, but nothing drastic. However, this is around when deep learning started to take off. And we basically, on some typical popular data sets like the MNIST and CIFAR, those are computer vision projects and those stuff, deep learning decided to destroy like other machine learning methods, significantly so. And from then on to now, it's just been taking over. So anything where deep learning could have benefited, it benefited significantly. So why did deep learning win? Or not, I shouldn't say win. Machine learning is still very popular and still very useful around. But what did it do differently? And basically, deep learning was able to learn very complex relationships in non-linear data. And you'll basically learn what non-linear data is later on. But just remember that machine learning wasn't able to do, if there was a complex data set, and machine learning was maybe reaching like 70, 80%, 90% accuracy, deep learning could learn that extra bit to push it closer to 100%. So deep learning solved a lot of these problems and ushered in a new revolution. That's how we have all this advanced computer vision, NLP stuff, all these new recommendation systems that are just amazing right now. So yeah, it took our models from, yeah, that's a pretty good model, to, whoa, that's scary good, and that's better than what I can do. So this is what I mentioned here. It's basically, it bested a lot of these benchmarks in these things, and basically it allowed researchers like us to tackle even more difficult problems that we thought were too challenging. So these are some examples, sorry about that cough, of what deep learning can do right now. It can do things like lip reading right now. It's quite cool. The transition quality, look how much like neural networks compared to humans right now in perfect translations, getting quite good. So as we can see, deep learning is gonna be here to stay, and it's gonna keep getting better and better as we evolve and create new training methods, new advanced algorithms. There's actually so much in deep learning that we can do with just general neural networks that allow us to build so many powerful tools. So how does deep learning even work though? So we will go into extensive detail into this later on. I'll have like an hour-long lecture on the inner workings of deep learning. But for now, consider it machine learning on steroids. And yes, deep learning has achieved in many tasks better than human performance, but it came at a price. And that price is slow training time. It sometimes takes weeks for a deep learning algorithm to be trained, and that's on like a lot of heavy GPUs and distributed systems. Also, it needs a lot of data to get really good. So this is why I said machine learning is still very useful, because deep learning, when you have the time and resources to train, when you have the data, especially the amount of data you need to train, it works brilliantly. However, these are things that aren't always accessible to us. So, like I said, deep learning learns complex patterns and relationships, and it's extremely versatile and allows it to be customizable and adaptable to a wide variety of applications. So here's a nice quote by Andrew Ng. Basically, deep learning, data is to deep learning what fuel is to a rocket engine. So basically, that's why we need so much data. But rocket engines are powerful, which means deep learning models are super powerful once we feed them the data. So that's it for our deep learning slides in this section. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you took away why it's changing everything and why it's so important, what is its weaknesses, and why basically it's going to change everything in future. Okay.